Yo, what to do, YouTube? It's your boy Colts Talk back with another video. And today was a bad day. It was a bad day, man. We lost to the Baltimore Ravens this week. Um, it didn't go any way as I planned. But before I get into it, if you are new, hit the subscribe button. Appreciate all the recent supporters and subscribers to the channel. Hit the like button. Also comment as well at the end of the video. Please watch the whole video and comment at the end your reactions and who should the award go to. I'm pretty sure we're all going to have the same award of this week for the Colts. But yes, we did lose this week to the Baltimore Ravens. The score was 24-10. It was a pretty bad game. I'm not gonna lie. It was a pretty bad game to watch. At the beginning, everything was looking so good. We was miles high. We was looking so good, and then in the blink of an eye, it just went downhill. Players started getting injured. We couldn't hold on to the football on offense, and the defense was gassed. The defense being gassed was the biggest part of the problem because the offense couldn't put up any yards at all. Now it was a defensive shootout at the beginning in the first half. In the first quarter, both teams were punting the ball back and forth. So I was like, okay, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. Both teams punting. It's gonna be a good game. Little do you know, Jonathan Taylor fumbles the football. Now we talked about this issue with Jonathan Taylor and the football, holding on to it in college, and it seems today it dawned on him and haunted him, and they wound up not being back on the field the whole game. So that was a little part of the offensive problem, was not seeing Jonathan Taylor as we should. Now the fumble is a big part of the problem for the Colts because it gave the Ravens momentum, and they wound up scoring off of it from Chuck Clark, and Marcus Peters caused it. Marcus Peters was all over the field today, trying to start fights and pretty much being a key piece of the Ravens winning this game. So shout out to Marcus Peters and shout out to all the Ravens fans. Much respect to all the Ravens fans. Team Keep It Clean, my guy Engraven, Coach Camp, Iconic, all the Ravens fans that support me. It's nothing but GGs. Nothing but GGs. So back to Marcus Peters. He was definitely all over the field. Him causing that fumble on Jonathan Taylor was unexpected. I'm not going to lie. It was down, and then you see the Ravens picked it up, and they started running down the field. I'm like, Jonathan Taylor just fumbled. He really just fumbled. So I was shook, and I was like, oh boy, it's going to be a long game. So, and this was before, and then Jonathan Taylor did score a touchdown before this. So I was like, okay, before that happened, Jonathan Taylor scored a football. I said, okay, so we got momentum, 7-0, let's go. So we wind up getting the ball back from the Ravens, and then Jonathan Taylor, we're going to hand it off to him again, and he gets stripped, and Clark picks it up and runs, and now the score is 7-7. So I say, oh boy, here we go. So this wasn't looking good at all. So then after that, after they scored, we wound up holding the Ravens to 3, and they wound up kicking a field goal. After that, the defense for the Ravens was just pretty much doing what they do best. It was pretty much shutting us out. And then the Ravens wound up scoring again in the second half, and then Lamar scored, and then that's pretty much curtains at that point. But I'm going to talk about a few things. Darius Leonard went down. Anthony Walker went down. There wasn't no flag called on Jack Doyle's concussion, which is pretty much a problem. But they didn't call it. So Jack Doyle, hopefully you feel better. Yeah, a bunch of players. They went down, but they came back in the game. So it wasn't really a key injury. So they played through it. So a lot of players went down, to be honest. A lot of players on both sides of the field, they went down, but they recovered. Patrick Queen, I see him go down. He came back in the game. But it was just a lot going on that I can't really explain at the top of my dome because the game just happened today. I'm recording this right after the game, so my mind's all over the place because of the loss. I predicted the score to be 20-17, but this is where you guys will remind me in the chat. You guys will remind me in the comment section. But there was an interception called on Phillip Rivers that shouldn't have been called. We looked over it plenty of times. The officiating called it an interception. I said it was a swat, but Harbaugh challenged it and they called it an interception. Now, I probably will talk more about this later on in the week, But this is going to be a long week for us, Coach Nation. Why? Because we have another game coming up against the Tennessee Titans. That's a Thursday night football game. So it's going to be a long week for us. So I got content for you. But this interception should have been called a swat. It should have been called a swat. Now, he did have 2 feet down when he caught the ball, but he wound up losing it. So if that's the case, it should have been a fumble, right? But the whistle was blown and they got challenged and it was called an interception. So I don't know how to feel about that. That play was just crazy because it gives the Ravens more momentum, and they were in scoring territory at that point, and they wind up getting it. So the defense is gassed at this point. They don't know what to do. The refs just rewarded the Ravens with an interception that looks like to everyone else, but the guy that's reviewing it from New York and the guys on the field, it looks like an interception to them, but everyone else is calling it not an interception. But here's my thing about the interception. I give it to him. That's an interception. It's fine. Everyone calls it an interception. It's fine. It's part of the game. You move on. That's what I did. I moved on, but unlike some fans and players, that dawns on them and they lose focus of what the main mission is during the game, and that's winning. So when the interception was called, I said the ball shouldn't have been thrown in the first place. It shouldn't have been thrown in the first place. Simple. He's double covered, and you're forcing it to a wide receiver with Marcus Peters and someone over the top. Marcus Peters played underneath and caught the pick. That's what you get. That's what you get right there, Phillip. In double coverage. And Phillip was doing this most of the game. It was looking like week 1 all over again. It was looking like week 1. Forcing it to eyeing down one wide receiver, not looking at the rest of the field. I can't hand count how many times there was a running back wide open on the top of my screen waiting for the football, but Phillip was not looking that way. Phillip was right here, and the running back was here, and Phillip was looking down the field this way. He didn't see the whole field. If he looked this way, it's an underneath right there. Boom. And at the end of the game in garbage time, when we didn't have a chance of winning, what did Phillip do? Play conservative, play underneath. Play conservative, play underneath. That's all he did at the end of the game. Now, what was this at earlier? Earlier, Phillip Rivers could have easily had 4 interceptions this game. 4. He tried to throw it down deep to Pittman twice. Almost got picked. Thank God he threw it over his head. He was just inaccurate today. Phillip Rivers is inaccurate today. So I don't know how to recover from this. Pittman was out there on the day. He was out there on the field. He should have got the ball more. DeMichael Harris was looking good. He should have got the ball more. Naheem Hines should have been on the field. He should have got the ball more. We just got out of our system. We let the defense do all the work. And that's not how it's supposed to go. The defense did all the work. So it was just a bad game. It was a bad game, but the defense has all my praise because they was out there on the field longer than anybody. So more praises to them. Hopefully Jack Doyle recovers from this concussion. I don't think he's playing on Thursday against the Titans. But this was just a bad game. You guys let me know who the MVP is for you guys. Let me know your reactions to the game. And until next time, Coach Talk, signing out. Peace.